Good day, guys. Well, it's that time of year again. I just published the last catch for 2016-2017 on YouTube. If you haven't seen it yet, just go have a look and ask Trap a Hunter. And today we are waxing traps. I've got these already dyed. I use the logwood dye. They come out real nice. That's how black they get. Everything's been checked and gone over, so everything's in working order. The tags are on, that type of thing. So the only thing left to do for these guys is just to wax the trap. I'll show you here right shortly. Here's what I got set up here. It's just a Coleman or a propane camping stove with a pot of wax, and that's starting to melt out really good. So, and I do one at a time, and I'll show you how that works, how I do that. Anyway, just a few things. We've got 15 drags on chains right there. Let me see what we got here. There's 15 drags on chains down there. And the next bucket below, I think there's 15 drags with change in that one. Freaking heavy. And here we have 20 drags on cable and another 13 drags on cable. So that's my drags for the coyote traps and cat traps. Well, cat traps are coyote traps. That's just the boy catch. So, and we've got a bunch of 220s right there, 330s, some 110s, some number 5 bridger for beaver, and there's a bunch of 1.5s and a bunch of 2s, double long springs and single long springs, and a couple of dog proofs. My trapping basket's all set up, ready to go. My lower bag mostly set up, ready to go. I've still got a bunch of stuff to get from the basement, some baits. Some homemade bait. This is deer. That really worked good last year, so I'm going to continue using it again this year. There's 3 bear skulls that we've got. I gotta finish them, but they're pretty good size. Look at the size of my thumb, the size of the tooth. It's a black bear, and they're all black bears, but there's 3 that I gotta get bleached and that type of thing. So, and there's a few other things kicking around here in places, but mainly that's about it. This is where I dye my traps. So all I've got is the bottom part of a steel drum, and get my cooking done here. So this is what I use for dyeing. Like I said before, I think I said before that you use your logwood dye. I like that. So anyway, we'll wait. The wax gets good and hot. So you just start to see the smoke flying. You want to be careful with the wax, though. It is combustible. So if you get it too hot, it will catch fire. So keep a lid close. If it does catch fire, just put the lid over it and turn the heat down. But once it starts to smoke a little bit, I know it's hot enough. So then I'll dump the trap in. And I'll show you how that's done later, as soon as this gets good and hot. So we'll be back. There, we're back, and the wax is up to over 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, if you can tell, I don't know if you can see that or not, but see the smoke starting to come off of that? It's telling me it's getting good and hot. So anywhere just a little over 300 degrees, so we're safe. Anyway, this is what I do. Now, some people say you want to dip your trap for like 10 seconds or something like that. But me, I'll take the trap one at a time. I'll dip him in and I'll leave it there for probably 20 seconds or better. I'm making sure that the trap steel gets the same temperature of the wax. So when the wax and the trap, when the trap's removed from the wax just rolls off of the trap and just leaves a very, very thin film. And from here on out, I will not touch a trap with my bare hands. They're hung up to dry, and I got gloves on, so anyway, we'll leave him in there for a second and I'll take him out and go hang him up. Just get you set over here so you can see what's going on. So I'll let that sit there for 30 seconds or so, and every once in a while I'll check the temperature, but as I put the trap in, it cools the wax off. So you notice the wax is dripping off. You'll see where the wax has been dripping. And if you look across the floor, you can see where years of all this wax has been dripping off the traps. So anyway, when you're done, on the very end of the dog, you will see a drip of wax. You got to clean that off. You also got to take a foil inside where your latch hole is. That's got to be cleaned off, okay, because wax is going to lay there. But other than that, there's just a very, very thin coat of wax on that trap. Okay, so we'll just do another one. And that is how I wax my traps. There, that's how it's done. So you want to make sure that when you're waxing traps with that hot wax, that your traps are completely dry. If you have any water at all on your trap or in there somewhere, it will almost like boil over and it will splatter, and it's very hot. So make sure your traps are very dry. Leave them in there for, you know, a few 30 seconds anyway, to make sure your steel gets the same temperature of your trap or your wax, and it'll roll right off. So anyway, looking good. Okay, that's done. The last one I just done, that's still swinging, so I got the stuff put away. These are all Bridger number 3s. Bridger number 3, 4-coil offset. And the only ones that are different are these here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 Bridger number 2s. But they're still 4 coil and offset. So a little bit smaller, but they still work. That's a 3. And that's a 2. So you see, it's quite a bit difference. So I like the 3s. Anyway, that's what I'm running. Now, after they're all waxed and dry, remember, don't touch them with your fingers, you'll notice there's some drips of wax. Now, where you got to be careful, you see one right here. I don't know if you can really see that or not, but there's a drip running into that, under the dog. That's got to be scraped down. Let me see if we can find a better one here. You can see that? See the drip right there? That's got to be cleaned off. You take a knife and just scrape that off a little bit, and right in where the notch, right in there where the notch is, there's usually some wax build up in there, so you gotta clean that out, or you're gonna snap a trap on your finger sometime or other. So make sure that it's cleaned out. These little drips here on the pant, on the jaws don't matter. You can snap these off. It'll come off easy, but you got to watch the drips that are on the dog and latch where the dog fits in. That's got to be cleaned off as well. So just about every one of them, I see there's a little bit of. If you notice that one or not, see the drip there. That's got to be taken off with a knife. You got to scrape that down on the back side of that, so that'll go flush up in with your latch. So other than that, they're done. So I'll stack those in those milk crates over there, a dozen to a milk crate. That way I'll know what I've got. And the only thing I've got left really to do is to go get some dry dirt. And what I usually use is ant hills. The mud out of the dirt out of ant hills. I'll take some ant killer and I'll go along and I'll kill the ant nest with the ant killer and let it rain on it a couple of times, and then go after that with a box or a bucket with a shovel and get my stuff. And if it's good stuff, I won't mix it. But if it's fairly coarse, I'll mix it with a little bit of peat moss. But usually that anthill stuff, that's almost like peat moss anyway. It's quite fine stuff. So, but sometimes I will mix the anthill stuff with maybe 1/3 peat moss to 2/3 anthill material. Seems to work anyway. So anyway, for now that's it. Oh, and there's something else I want to show you. The kneeling pads that I use. It's a foam kneeling pad. Well, most kneeling pads I've noticed are only about a 1/2 inch thick. This one's at least 1 inch thick, if not 1 1/4 inches. And that's very, very good on the knees when you're putting in trap bids. So I got this at Princess Auto. So I don't know where in the States, you probably get it at Lowe's or somewhere like that, but anyway, that's what I use for a trap pad. The kneel on is, that thing's about 1 inch thick or 1 1/4 inches thick. So anyway, that's it for now, guys. Hope you enjoy and catch you later.